Inflation has hit a 4-decade high, leaving everyone wondering, guessing, no one knowing what is next for traditional or crypto markets. But what if, at the same time, there are some clues staring us right in the face? What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Thank you for coming by. Make sure to hit that subscribe on the way in. Let's jump into the video. This is Bitcoin on the weekly chart. We're going to dig into it. We're going to dig into the daily chart. We're going to dig into some Cardano charts today. And there's a lot of speculation that we're going to be doing in terms of what is next for these charts. But I want to rewind a little bit. This is, as far as financial market news goes, disastrous day, a 4-decade high in inflation. But here's a daily candle on the S&P 500 index, really reflecting equity markets, and it closed green. So everyone, I think, anticipating bad news today, and at the same time anticipating a short-term crash today. And is it of no surprise that these markets just continue just to throw everybody off their game? And that's the point. It's exactly the point. Nobody knows. I sit here, everything we're doing here, you and I, you're on YouTube watching crypto videos. I'm on YouTube recording crypto videos. We're all speculators. We're all speculating. Even the top analysts in the world are speculators. You're going to see that in a minute. So this isn't financial advice, everyone. This is data. We track it the best we can. We're trying to figure out how to make our move. But before we dive into these speculative charts and we talk about potential scenarios to be prepared for, I do want to just backtrack. So this article is on Yahoo Finance. I came across a little bit earlier today. It's very much in reference of Jim Cramer. A lot of what he says, I don't agree with his direction. I don't agree with his mindset. I don't agree with his approach. But this particular article talking about market participants and these different categories of market participants, the public, large traders, fund managers, and commercial hedgers. So let me read this brief part to you, especially at important bottoms. Williams, who's an analyst, I guess Jim Cramer's referencing, points out that the commercial hedgers tend to be bullish, while the large speculators like money managers and, of course, the public tend to be bearish. And isn't that the case right now? The public especially. It is in my comments. Everyone, it's hard to find even a positive comment. Everybody's bearish, but at the same time, they're just negative. And so at these important bottoms, Williams is saying commercial hedgers tend to be bullish. Cramer points out that the pattern is appearing again. Commercial hedgers are stepping up their buying while money managers are selling. Is this a pattern? Are the commercial hedgers the ones that are really going to give us that sign? And is this the clue that's staring at us in the face? Along with some technical analysis in terms of the Bitcoin charts in general, that at the very least there will be a rally. So this article says, remember April 2020 when everyone was terrified that COVID would destroy the economy? We might be headed for the second Great Depression. I remember it. We were covering videos during that time. He said business would start rebounding and within weeks, and this is Cramer talking about Williams, within weeks the market would bounce with it, and that was one of the greatest calls ever. So is this getting kind of ready to set up this mass fear? And you can just see it on the crypto fear and greed index if we just refresh this just to make sure. That's at 15. Last month, 11. So everything's in fear. Financial markets in fear. Could this be a repeat in terms of this happening? And I'm telling you, these commercial hedgers could be the sign, the first clue at the very least, one of the clues to signify this could potentially be happening. Let's pivot over to Bitcoin. Let's dive into these charts. I'm not trying to offer bullish or bearish right now. I'm very neutral. I'm very just trying to hang out and track and be prepared for every scenario. We wait for confirmation. So here we are on the daily chart. I think this is the most important chart. This green rectangle that Bitcoin is in, this is a key Fibonacci. This is the bear market low to bull market high. And you can see the retracement all the way back down to this green channel, all the while Bitcoin trading within the 200 moving average on the weekly and this 786 line. Now, these two areas, Bitcoin in these previous bottoms, cycle bottoms, going back years and years, this is the area Bitcoin has bottomed. We're there once again. I am keeping that in mind as I continue to do Bitcoin TA. Here's Bitcoin on the daily chart, though. The real speculation begins. So Bitcoin's at this very interesting area where we're seeing this support, and even on a day like today, still continuing to see support. Let's see, even as this new daily candle gets ready to happen in just over an hour, what happens to Bitcoin. I mean, is Bitcoin going to continue holding this support here? Or are we going to start getting this move below this trend line that we see? Then what I'm talking about is these daily wicks that we have all the way back here, beginning of July, back here in the middle of June. Is Bitcoin going to see a bounce off of here for just a short-term swing high? And this is what I'll be watching, is a kind of a more short-term Fibonacci resistance, potentially with a right shoulder setup that could set us up for that final capitulation for Bitcoin. And what that looks like is the speculative head of this head and shoulders to this current support that seems to be there just right now. And we have a 786, and that red box, I should move up a little bit, but 786 down to a 618. The 786 right now around 21,700, the 618 around 21,100. So $21,000 to $22,000 is that area of resistance if Bitcoin makes a move to the upside. And this is an area not only of resistance, if Bitcoin breaks it, this is a key area of bullish confirmation, because you'll see this 50-day moving average just day by day get closer to that area. So if Bitcoin's breaking above this Fibonacci resistance and at the same time makes its way to a 50-day moving average and breaks that, this is some bullish confirmation that we'd be waiting for. That's why I'm anticipating and speculating on that. But we could get bearish confirmation with a bounce of resistance. It's a lower high, right shoulder, and here's the setup to move to the $16,000 area, $16,000 to $17,000 area. The reason it's important, this is the 786 line area of that key long-term Fibonacci. This area Bitcoin has visited multiple times in its history, right down here and all the way back here in 2015. So 2015, 2018, and we just wicked above it not long ago, weeks ago, around a month ago, in mid-June. And if Bitcoin's making this potential move to the downside, it would be hitting that area again. This could be truly the formation of the bottom, and this could take some time to play out. This isn't like an overnight thing, but it's something I'm speculating on. It's something I'm watching all while all this is happening. We have key indicators. We have the 20-day moving average in green. Let me get rid of this Fibonacci. 20-day moving average in green just above this daily candle for Bitcoin. Can Bitcoin make its move to the upside above that area, and the 50-day closing in to the downside? The 50-day moving average right around 24,000. So a lot of resistance up here for Bitcoin, but if Bitcoin breaks through any of these areas, this could be the storyline for the rally, the relief rally that everybody's not everybody, but a lot of people are talking about that could potentially happen along with traditional markets. So that's what we're watching. Everyone, I want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors. Binance are sponsoring this video. First off, thank you, Binance, but have a very special offer for any Binance.com users, that is non-US users. There's also a US link below to sign up, create an account. If you're in the crypto markets right now, if you are buying the dip, right? We're in this accumulation phase for a ton, and it's on-chain metrics are showing this, an accumulation phase for a ton of Bitcoin holders, crypto holders. Binance is just such a solid exchange. Exchanges, they get this bad rap sometime, right? But they are the doorway for everybody getting into crypto. And so I think as crypto users, especially in these bear market environments, it's important to notice this and to take notice of what they're doing. And Binance in particular, crypto giant Binance opens 2,000 positions for hiring. I wanted to cover this real quick. Crypto exchange Binance has opened 2,000 positions for hiring. The reason I'm bringing this up is because this just shows and is a perfect example in the crypto space, this early stage space of what a solid startup, what a solid project does. And that is to be responsible with how they build, with how they grow and take care of their users. It was not easy saying no to Super Bowl ads. CZ says stadium naming rights, large sponsored deals a few months ago, but we did. Today we're hiring for 2,000 open positions. This was not even a month ago, just around a month ago. He's tweeting this, and they're just growing, right? So I'm happy to have them on board as a sponsor, and go sign up for an account. If you're a non-US user especially, there's a $600 offer for you, and it's very simple. You're going through, you're signing up for your account, you're going to the task center, you're kind of looking at the rules for that week, the task for that time frame, and you're completing and finishing the task, and you're getting your rewards based on each task. And it's these stepping stones to $600 worth of vouchers in the Binance.com app. So go sign up. There's a link below, link in the description. It just makes sense, right? If you're accumulating crypto anyway in these markets, if you are, right? And it just makes sense to go with one of the best exchanges that is out there, that is Binance. And they also they've launched their zero fee Bitcoin trading recently. So check that out while it's still hot. Zero fee Bitcoin trading, everyone. So thanks for sponsoring this video, Binance. Thank you for being a partner with us, and I appreciate you. Let's pivot over to ADA. This is ADA on the weekly chart. This is what we're watching, everybody. It couldn't get any more critical from just a simple trend line, macro perspective. It just doesn't get any more critical. We're looking at this, and you can just see this trend line that goes all the way back to 2018 that we've been tracking, where there was this resistance going all the way into just this bull market entry. Cardano going crazy into the bull market, breaking that trend line. And it's amazing how the story has led us here. We're in this chapter of this story where ADA has broken to all-time highs, and it's retraced all the way back down to this story, this trend line. And what's so powerful about it is, and this is true on all charts, not just Cardano, what's so powerful about it is this is as simple as technical analysis gets. It's getting oversold, right? Outside of this area of average, in this average growth area, it's getting oversold. And then it's getting brought back into that average growth area. And then it's getting overbought. And then it's getting overbought, and it's getting pulled back down to the average growth area. It's what it is. It's just this harmonious growth in terms of this early stage technology that is crypto, and Cardano is there. It's at this trend line. That isn't to say we're not going to come back below that trend line. We did before, right? In the last bear market and in the COVID swing low. But right now we're there testing that support area, and it's extremely crucial to track that along with Bitcoin and along with traditional markets and what is happening there. But when we really start digging into these charts, if you really want to get a sense of, well, can it break that trend line? Well, we have another trend line to really watch out for. And it's a little bit more midterm trend line, which extends all the way to when we entered into this entire retracement all the way back here. And it goes back to, right around September area, this lower trend line. ADA has just been playing with that as this lower low area on the way down. And right now you can see this lower trend line sitting down here around 30 cents. So this is the case. And here's that macro trend line, right? That goes all the way back to 2018, ADA testing it. But the case to fall below is right there, right? It's just a lower low on this midterm retracement that ADA is in. And it's also this area that is it's a target. The 30-cent area is a target that we've been tracking. We've been tracking this ascending triangle for ADA. We got the breakout to the downside. We've just been watching it consolidate sideways, form structure, and we got another breakout to the downside. So ADA very much potentially on its way to a 30-cent area target. This is in an environment where ADA is going to follow equity markets, and Bitcoin will be doing that as well. I don't think altcoins are following Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin and altcoins are following traditional markets. That's my opinion. So when we're watching this, ADA is at a very critical area because you can see it on the 6-hour chart. ADA is testing this long-term lower trend line. We've broken through this descending triangle to the downside. It's seeing support here, right, at this macro trend line, but the move to the downside is just very much in play. It's very much available for ADA right now to the downside. We could see just this pullback into the apex of this triangle. It's something we could be watching for. We're still waiting to see if this ascending triangle, and it's getting close now. If ADA makes a move to the downside, this will be out of the equation. but there's still room for ADA to see a bounce to the upside, and we get this busted ascending triangle, meaning the ascending triangle target from this downside breakout just never happens. That 30-cent target never happens. That's in play, but it's getting to the late stages now where that's even in play anymore. If ADA makes one more move to the downside, particularly breaking this long-term macro trend line, that's probably a deal breaker for that busted ascending triangle being in play anymore. However, we continue to watch targets. We have that 30-cent target, and we have this target just above 30 cents, probably 35 cents out of the descending triangle. So there's a bit of consolidation for Cardano to the downside. If traditional markets rally, right? If it happens, Cardano very much could see support here off of this trend line, continue through this descending triangle apex. This would be a busted descending triangle in effect if ADA makes a breakout through that upper trend line and back up to a potential target of 60 cents for a rally, if that's what markets are going to decide to do. I know I'm giving you every side of the story, everybody, but you know that's what we do here. I'm not here to tell you what's going to happen. I'm not here to predict what's going to happen. I'm here to prepare because I do it for my mental sanity. There's nothing else we can do. There's literally nothing else. Otherwise, you're gambling. If you're not preparing for downside and upside, you're simply gambling. You're simply guessing. We've just covered an article about Jim Cramer and another analyst named Williams. Neither one of them know what's going to happen. They're speculating. All we can do is prepare for every scenario. That's the best thing we can do. It's the most wise thing we can do in these crazy markets. One thing is true. I think the markets are bottoming out. That doesn't mean it's bottomed, but I think the bottom formation is here. The structure is forming. And in this macro structure, when we look back, we're in a massive formation right now that will be probably called one of the greatest opportunities of accumulation in crypto. I think so. I really think that will happen. So formulate your plan. Figure out how you're comfortable in these environments and in this crypto market. That is what I'm doing, and I'm just sharing the data with you. Everybody, I really appreciate you cruising by. Thanks again, Binance, for sponsoring this video. I'll see you all in the next video. Have an awesome day. God bless.